Hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about the top visa interview mistakes that people make when they go to the US Embassy, for non-immigrant visas. And I'm doing this while I'm holding my 1 month old. So yeah, who said men cannot multitask? So the first top mistake that people do is the people you take your advice from. So be very careful who you take your advice from. There's a lot of content here on YouTube and all over the internet about people, telling other people about, immigration and how to do it. Some people don't do their research. Some people just, they just copy and paste what they've seen other people do without doing the necessary research. There is a lot of misinformation out there. So really be careful about people who are telling you to, go do some stuff, lie in your interview, just do so many other things that are shady that are going to end you up in hot soup, or end you in a case where you commit fraud. And when you do that, you become ineligible to travel to the US. And so be very careful who you take your advice from. Make sure that, don't just listen to people. If they tell you something, make sure you just go look at like travel.state.gov or USCIS. They give you a lot of information that, if you hear it on YouTube, just make sure that you go verify with the correct source about what, whether what they're saying is really accurate. Okay. So that's number one. Take correct advice from the right people. The other mistake that people make is lack of preparation. I tell people preparation. For whatever interview that you go to, make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you know your ins and your outs. Make sure that you are able to answer the 5 W's. That why are you going? Where are you going? When are you going? Who are you going to be there with? What are you and then what are you going to be doing? So make sure you know your 5 whys, why you're going. And so prepare, have your story straight, have your ducks in a row so that when you go there, it's one question doesn't just blow your whole interview away because you were not prepared. And, and sometimes when you're hesitant, when you're being asked and you haven't prepared, it shows in how you interview. You're extra nervous. You're just, you're not confident in the way that you say things. The other mistake that people make is people don't speak eloquently and with complete sentences. Do not give short answers. Explain yourself. Also don't give long answers because the interview is really short, and so you don't have that much time, but don't give short answers. Don't just say, where are you going? I'm going to visit a friend. That's a complete sentence, but it's a very short answer, and it doesn't give you the best opportunity for you to get the visa. Speak in complete sentences, but also just, don't give short answers. Tell your story. You're there for an interview. Convince the interviewer to give you the visa. Because the Immigration and National Act, INA, it says that you are considered an immigrant until you prove otherwise for non-immigrant visas. And so it's pretty much you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. And so you're going there to make your case. Don't go there giving short answers. When they ask you, make sure you give enough answers, not too long, not too short, but just the right amount of information. See, creating a rapport with your interviewer is so good. The way you present yourself to the interviewer, it is so good because it kind of gives the interviewer a picture into the kind of person that you are. You're speaking to an American. you're speaking to an American citizen when you interview. And so if you're holding a great conversation with them, and if you engage them, if you draw them in and they like you just because of the conversation, you're respectful, you're not cutting them when they speak, you're not over talking, you're not under talking, you're holding a conversation, it kind of, it's a very good plus for you. So don't give short answers, give complete sentences. But that's why preparation is so important, because it gives you the awareness in mind to just when you get an opportunity, you pounce on it. The other thing is the other mistake that people make is people are passive. It's like you don't bring energy to the interview. You don't bring confidence to the interview. You do not bring yourself to the interview. You can have all the documentations, but if you do not convince the interviewer to give you a visa, they will not give you a visa. And so it doesn't hurt to be more vibrant. It doesn't hurt to be confident in what you're saying, in what you're doing. And so don't be passive. Show up with your personality. Let your personality attract people. The way you smile, the way the way you talk, you're very polite. You wait until questions are asked. If you don't understand the questions, you pose, questions back to say, excuse me, but I did not understand your question. Can you please clarify the question to me? That kind of, it speaks into who you are. And sometimes based on who you are, you can get a visa even though your documents are, your documents are not all there. Just because you impressed the interviewer enough that they liked who you are, could be the reason why you get the visa. So I'm telling you this from personal experience. My bank statements were not they were not great bank statements. But the way I presented myself was the reason why I got the visa. And so, yeah, watch out for that. Don't be passive. Just show up for your visa. But also just know that, sometimes people say, it's just by chance. They've already decided my case. I'm not gonna get it. It's like, no, the way you present yourself at the interview sometimes goes a long way into deciding whether or not you're going to be given a visa. Because I don't believe there's a quarter system in the way that they've already denied you a visa before you even show up for the interview. I believe if you show up to the interview, even if they were leaning one way by looking at your DS-160, they can change your mind. You can change their mind just by the way you answer the questions. You can change their mind by the way you speak for yourself. And so it's very important to show up for the interview. This is why you should give me the visa. Give them a reason to give you the visa. Give them a reason to make it so difficult for them to give you a 214B. Give them a visa. Give them a reason for them to tell you that your visa has been approved. Just by the way you present yourself and you present your case. It's very important. But also know one of the things that is so important is, often I don't even believe they ever ask you a question on what your ties are. But just make sure that when you answer the questions they ask you, you have your story right, you have your story in place. Make sure that in everything that you do, you are painting strong ties to your home. This is the reason why I'm coming back. This is the reason why I have to come back, because I need to be here. I'm going to the US for a reason, but my home, my future is here. I need to come back here. My people need me. And so I'm going to get additional education. My people need me. And so I'm going to get the resources. I'm going to get the education. I'm going to get the experience. I'm going for a particular purpose, but I need to come back home because this is where I belong. And so when you answer your question, make sure you have ties at the back of your mind to let the interviewer know that your home is right here where you are. And this is where you want to come back after you've gone to the US and done what you want to do. And so it's an interview. You have to plead a case for yourself. And hopefully that's helpful to you. So keep that in mind. And, and there's so many other mistakes that people do, but, those are some of the most common ones that people do is, they're not prepared. They go to the interview and they're not prepared, the way you present yourself. So yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day.